Pro Football Show presented by Chevy Silverado, the strongest, most advanced Silverado ever, Week 11 of the NFL. But the big news is we've got our guy Deion back. Deion, we've missed you. How are you doing?
I've missed you all, although I see Dave in the news every day and I keep up with him by just giving people their junk. I don't know why they keep why do they keep messing with you, man?
Never gonna end. Some people, they got targets on your back. I'm one of them, but it is what it is. It's, weirdly, not to be like super, you're going through a lot more serious shit than I was. So, everything's in perspective.
Hey, man, and I want to give love to Jersey Jerry for maintaining my lead. I really appreciate him. That showed just how bad you guys were at picks, and I cannot unbelieve that. I cannot believe that, I mean. But let's get it started. I'm feeling really good right now.
Yeah.
I'm feeling really good.
Jersey Jerry actually saved you, Deion, because there was that
No, he
week 2 weeks ago where like every big favorite lost and you would have had all chalk across the board. He called the Broncos versus the Cowboys, so you should,
I wouldn't have picked
thank
that.
Jersey Jerry, yes.
Yeah.
Been a lot of weird scores last couple of weeks, to be honest.
Definitely. And Deion, you said in a video that you think that Dan and Dave are going to give you hell. I feel like before the show we were all on good terms. So that, are you still worried about they're going to talk shit to you?
No, because see, I know what they had up their sleeve was Odell. They had that. But the way Baker performed last week, I had them. So now it's like a clean slate.
No,
so we're back
your
clean.
guy got cut.
Yeah.
Your guy got released. And then he goes to another team, and they look the worst they've looked. This guy, I mean, at some point, you got to start looking around and be like, this guy is a team killer.
So you think they're going to re-up your guy and pay him handsomely when you have several big-time quarterbacks that are free agents, and these guys are one step away from really getting to the playoffs and being a really sound team? You really think they're going to pay Baker Mayfield?
I think they will pay him, yeah, I do.
And he looked bad
Yes,
against the Patriots, but he looked good against the Bengals, so maybe the Patriots are just very
horrible.
good.
Dan,
I'm glad.
Come on, man. This guy's a first pick overall. He's a first pick overall. Quit making concessions. What first pick overall that we've made these type of concessions for?
Baker, the jury's still out. Odell is just a team killer. There's no jury left on that. He's a team killer.
Deion, they have said, jokingly, they thought you've been dodging us so that you didn't have to talk about Odell. And then the Rams did look pretty shitty last week. So,
Well, I got to give them love. My guys text me in my time of despair, and I love you guys to life. I truly do. That's no jokes. No jokes intended. I appreciate you guys. Now let's get down to business so I can kick your butts.
let's get to the storyline games of the week presented by Chevy Silverado. It's hardworking and the design is big, bold, and commanding. The Silverado is the truck that turns heads. Let's start with the Packers at the Vikings. Dave, a huge bet for you. The biggest bet you've ever placed last week with the Packers. They beat the Seahawks 7.
Yeah, the biggest
right?
wager I've ever
Responsibly.
won.
Responsibly.
Responsibly, and I'm up.
Yes.
We talked about it before. It's not like I'm going backwards. I built a little nest egg, and I felt that strongly. I think the Packers, maybe I'm an idiot, not like what I felt last week, because I get you're going to the Vikings. The Vikings are spunky. I think the Packers are very, very good. I think they're the best team in the NFC. I think their defense is excellent. They can run the ball. They got weapons on the outside. Aaron Rodgers now is a game back. This spread, again, doesn't make sense to me. I think the Packers are significantly better than the Vikings. And right now, maybe outside of a totally healthy Cardinal team, significantly the best team in the NFC. I like the Packers here, and I think they win this game fairly easily, even though domes sometimes make me nervous with the Packers, but they're really, really good.
Yeah.
And I know this pains you a little bit.
It does, and I honestly, I'm resigned to the fact that I think the Packers are going to be in the Super Bowl. It's their defense. Their defense is really, really good. I saw a stat the last 3 times the Packers have had, or the last 2 times the Packers had a top 3 defense was 2010 and 1996. They won the Super Bowl both those years. I will never trust the Vikings. That was a big win against the Chargers, but then you have to ask yourself, do the Chargers kind of stink? Like the Chargers,
Patriots
we
murdered
all
them.
gave the Chargers so many accolades at the beginning of the season because Justin Herbert was playing out of his mind, myself included. I don't know if that's even considered a big win anymore. I think the Packers win this game. Step up in class for the Vikings. They don't play well against like the true, really great teams.
The last 2 weeks, the Packers defense versus Russell Wilson and Patrick Mahomes, basically held them both to 0.
Yeah.
I mean, incredible.
Deion, what do you think?
Guys, be careful with this game. This is the
Zimmer
reason.
love.
Yeah, Zimmer.
No. This is the reason. Minnesota's at home. Minnesota's lost 5 games, probably with a combined 20 points combined in the 5 losses that they had. They're right there in every darn game, and they're at home coming off a big week. The Packers are missing their starting tailback. I mean, that's. I know the big fella came in and did some work, but Kirk Cousins, man, this guy is completing 68%. And when you look at 18 touchdowns, 2 picks, that's phenomenal. I know we said Kirk Cousins.
Check down King.
That is remarkable that he only has two.
And that's because
but
he
I'm
never
just
takes
telling you,
risks.
man.
He never takes risks.
This is going to be a tight game. I guess -2.5 mean the Packers going to win by 2.5. That's admirable. But this is going to be a tight game, guys. It could go either way, but I'm going to go with Green Bay because Aaron Rodgers, when he's on the field, man, he's like an extra coach out there.
Let's go to the Cowboys at the Chiefs. Now, Deion, off the top of the show, you said that you think the Chiefs are pretty good. The Chiefs looked like they were back last week. Patrick Mahomes had 5 touchdowns. They looked really good. So what do you think about this team, and what do you think about the Cowboys?
This is all about Patrick Mahomes. What he changed last week. He got the ball out of there in probably 1,001, 1,002, that ball was out of there, instead of just loading up for the big shots. And that's what he's been doing throughout the season while they've been playing mediocre football. Defensively, Kansas City is Kansas City. I don't believe they're going to be able to stop the Cowboys, but I don't believe the Cowboys are going to be able to stop the Chiefs. And the Chiefs are at home, so I'm going to pick the Chiefs this week.
Dallas is the #1 offense in the league, Dan. I don't know. I mean, they had that horrible week 2 weeks ago, but what do you think?
Yeah, I'm not going to be fooled by the Chiefs winning on Sunday night against the Raiders. I still think there's something wrong with them. Patrick Mahomes, it's those deep shots that he hit 2-3 years ago, he's just missing them. And that's the difference in their offense. I think the Cowboys are a very, very good team. I think they're a very complete team. They're going to give the Chiefs defense a lot of problems. Give me the Cowboys on the road.
Dave?
Yeah, I agree with Dan. I'm not that one game versus a Raiders team that, frankly, it's impossible for you to know what's going on with the Raiders because of what they've gone through. I think that's such a devastating event, and it sticks with you. So I can't tell on the Raiders. Chiefs have one good game. I'm not sold on it. Even this line, if we're looking at it, that's the first time the Chiefs, in my mind, people are like, wait, they're not back. I'm going to take the Cowboys. I think they win this game, and we see the real Chiefs show up, which is not a very good football team.
Let's go to Steelers at Chargers. Dan, the Steelers with just an absolutely disgusting game last week against the Lions. You did say the Lions were going to get a win. I mean, they got a tie. They got a little bit closer. And then the Chargers lost to the Vikings, like we've mentioned. What are you thinking about this game?
So Big Ben, I don't think is playing. I mean, it's kind of a up for grabs thing.
It's Wednesday.
Mason Rudolph, I can't stand the guy. I think he's terrible. I do think the Chargers, his face is too big. That's the biggest problem.
He has a big face.
Huge face, big moon face. I think the Chargers will figure out a way to win this game. They've been very disappointing, though, the last month. They've lost, I think, 3 out of 4. Justin Herbert's come back down to earth. And now this is a pro Steelers stat, but, if you just visualize, what's this crowd going to be, 80% Pittsburgh in L.A.? It's going to be terrible towels everywhere. But I'll take the Chargers because I think Mason Rudolph is that bad.
Dave?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Chargers over the Steelers. But I'm not sold on either of these teams. Obviously, if the quarterback, Roethlisberger's not playing, that's a big detriment. Even if he is playing, I don't think they win this game. I'm going to take the Chargers.
Deion?
I'm taking the Chargers as well, even though Minnesota went in there and kicked their butts a week ago. I'm taking the Chargers this week. I just don't trust the Steelers for some form or fashion. I love Mike Tomlin to life, but Big Ben's about out. The guy with the big face you guys are talking about, I don't trust him as well. I just don't like the Pittsburgh Steelers this season.
Justin Herbert or Mac Jones, who you taking?
That's a good one, man. God, that's a good one. I really got to think about that one. That's a good one.
Mac Jones.
Because you got to figure
it.
No. If you put Herbert in Matt Jones' situation, that's a tough one, man.
I don't know. They're different. Mac Jones is perfect for that. He's quick. He reads the field. He gets rid of the ball quick. He's accurate. You may get more spectacular plays from Herbert, but that's not what we're looking for.
Right. But that's a tough one.
All right,
one of the same coaching, that's a tough one to pick.
Your guy, Stephen Chase, said Mac Jones grows on trees, though.
That was one
skill set grows on trees.
Well, at first he said they did. Then he changed his skill set, and then he's just running around getting bodied all over social media.
We'll get to some more games in just a little bit, but for now, let's go to I believe. Now, Dan, like I mentioned, you said that the Lions were going to cover the spread. They did. They tied. They're one step closer to maybe getting a win. I don't know. What are you going with?
That is one step closer. I believe. So they're on a bye week this week, the Rams. I think the Rams are going to be one and done in the playoffs. I think they're actually going to maybe even the NFC, with the fact there's 7 seeds, it makes it a little bit easier, but I think there'll be a moment where they'll like sneaky struggle to even make the playoffs. I do not trust this team. They play the Packers next week. They will get killed by the Packers in Lambeau. I believe the Rams will be one and done in the playoffs.
Dave, Patriots will go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know
double down on
how many weeks in a row I can keep being totally, and I mean completely correct with everything I say. I'll say Patriots Packers Super Bowl. I haven't said that.
Okay. So, Deion, you haven't had one in a little bit. Jerry did say that Aaron Rodgers was going to absolutely destroy Seattle, which he was right.
He was correct.
So he's been giving your I believes, but what is your I believe for Week 11?
But that Tom Brady and the Bucks will resurrect things. What, they're in New York? Are they the Giants or are they at home? One or the other.
They're in
play the
Tampa Bay.
Giants.
They're in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, well, either way, they're going to resurrect things this week, and everybody's going to forget the last few weeks, and everybody's going to be back on their back.
Yeah, I would agree. The Bucks will be a team that has to be dealt with come playoff time. I 100%.
They'll figure it out.
Yeah. And everybody was just, again, so quick to just be like, oh, Tom Brady stinks. It's like, I mean, we're not close to the playoffs yet.
No, this happened to them last year
Yeah.
at the exact same time.
Right.
They lost to the Bears in that Thursday night game, and they were, I don't know, off the top of my head, I think they were like 5-4 or something like that.
It's
They
to be
started
honest,
rattling
Brady's
it off.
career consistently.
Right.
I always said when it was on, apple picking weather is not when you judge teams.
Let's get to the Sunday conversation with Caleb Glennyballs and comedian Drewski.
Drewski,
Yes, sir.
what is Could Have Been Records? What is it?
Money is what it's about. Ownership. The pleasure.
How would you compare your streaming model to R. Kelly's?
Wow. What a
That
question.
guy loves to stream.
Damn right. I'll tell you that. Yo, man, bitch. Robert, right? Huh? You heard him. Yeah. Man.
You're a man of power.
Damn right.
And men of power always have targets on their backs, don't they, Drewski?
I see where you're going here. I see where you're going.
Is it okay if I read you some of the complaints that have been filed against you as the executive of Could Have Been Records, and you just say if they're true or false?
Perfect.
It's okay.
That's good with me.
Can you bring in the records?
God damn.
These are filed complaints about Drewski.
This is some Bible, isn't it?
Called the cops on his own artists because in a song they said they were strapped.
Damn right.
Walks around the building squeezing everybody's ass, guys and girls.
Well, I can't see which direction I'm looking at, so I don't know what to answer for that.
Drinks Hennessy during the day and brushes it off by saying it's just Flint water.
Good man.
Listen, we don't want to go all in.
Fuck that shit. Get that fucking thing out of here, man. We don't need that shit. Hey, man, it's me, you, and Fatso, man. Oh, come on. Fuck out of here.
Two skinny guys and a fat guy.
We're telling the truth, huh?
Do you have a spirit animal?
What's your name again?
Glenn.
Tony.
I'll take Tony.
If you give me a spirit animal, what would you give me?
Rhinoceros, elephant.
The fuck? Why?
Pretty sick, pretty sick.
No, they're not sick, big. They're fucking big animals.
Hippopotamus.
They're not
Closest
sick.
thing
They're
to a
fat
dinosaur.
fucking animals.
You're a bigger guy.
Yeah. Duh. Why can't I be a goose?
rhino is awesome.
Why can't I be a goose? Why can't I be a leopard? Why
would
can't
you
I
wanna
be a
be a
goose? They're small.
Glenn, if it was you, I would say you'd be something small.
You
Slender.
would call me an elephant, bro. You and I both know.
A snake.
He could never be a snake. You know that.
Do you believe in animals' rights?
Yes.
Really?
Peter's a big part of my life.
But do you really think we should be giving these porcupines guns?
When the hell did we give them guns, bro? When did we do that? What the fuck? He needs a fucking bib.
No, I don't.
Shut the fuck up, fat ass.
Whoa.
Hey. Before you call someone names, walk a mile in their shoes.
Bitch, I live in a fat body. So,
Drewski, I can barely see your torso.
god damn.
You know? I don't know what your weight's like, but brother, I can't see anything between your legs and your face.
You bitch.
But your career's just taken off. I mean, you're at the beginning.
Yeah.
What do you see yourself getting into? Do you think you're going to go the Bill Cosby route?
Ownership and what the fuck?
Get your own
What
show.
the fuck are these questions coming from, man?
Get your own show.
What the Bill Cosby route?
You don't have to do that. You can do stand-up. Louis C.K. route.
Oh.
You just do you.
I just do what I gotta do, brother. And that is what I do.
Louis C.K. got in trouble for doing himself, too.
Okay. All right.
He did it in front of some other people.
All right. Yeah.
I'm just saying the facts. I told you we keep it
You
truthful.
are just talking, brother. I'm listening. I ain't gotta say nothing at the end of the day. Because I'm human. I'm in charge.
Thanks, guys. It's time for the Ain't Nobody Care Game of the Week. The Jets hosting the Dolphins. Now, the Dolphins did beat the Ravens last week. The Jets looked awful against the Bills. But the big news here, guys, is that Joe Flacco will be starting for the New York Jets after all the issues they've had at quarterback. Dan, I will start with you. Just a gross game. But
terrible.
Joe Flacco.
It's terrible. Joe Flacco back. He'll be around forever. I'd give me the Dolphins, I guess. I don't know. I mean, the Dolphins have won 2 in a row now. 2 in a row? Yes. 2 in a row. So maybe they found something. Maybe they're kind of putting it together a little bit. Tua's playing decent. You know, that big win against the Ravens. The Jets are just so bad. They cannot stop anyone. They've given up an insane amount of points. I think I saw the stat the last 4 games, the Jets gave up more points than the Ravens did in their entire Super Bowl year, in whatever year that was, 2001 or 2. Give me the Dolphins.
Deion, what do you think about this game after watching the Dolphins beat the Ravens last week?
Well, that was a surprise. That was a tremendous upset. The Dolphins really played their butts off. The Ravens played like hot garbage. But tell me this, guy. So we just going to pick a guy, number 2 overall, and you're just going to bench him?
Wait,
So
no, Zach
what's
Wilson's hurt. That's another coma.
Oh, so he
Yes.
thank you.
Yeah,
So
no, I
he's
got
hurt?
you. I got you.
Yes.
You were out. You were
Yes.
in the hospital. He got hurt.
Yes.
Yeah, but I thought it was back and forth whether he was going to play or the other kid was going to play while he was healthy.
No, Mike White came in for Zach Wilson, played incredible against the Bengals. Everyone, myself included, said Mike White is the future, half joking, and then he stunk the last 2 games. Zach Wilson's still out. Joe Flacco's now playing.
God. So Cam has been at home and Flacco's still in the league.
Cam's not at home anymore.
No, Cam.
I know.
Okay,
But I'm
good.
saying
All
Cam
right.
has
Yes.
been at
This is
home.
like Encino Man. I like it. We're just talking to a guy who's just...
Like we're just like having to
Yeah.
tell him what's gone
Yeah,
on the last
this
few
is
years. Yes. Yeah. No, Zach Wilson is hurt. So with that in mind, Deion, what are you thinking?
I'm going with the Dolphins. There's no way I can pick the Jets, man. I just can't do it. There's no way.
Deion, did you hear? We killed Osama bin Laden. It was fucking sick, dude.
I didn't hear it.
Yeah, we killed him.
Dead.
You can just start throwing out like random
Yeah.
facts and it'll be like, okay, whatever.
This game sucks, obviously. I will say Flacco brings up that's, I think, maybe my number 1 Vine video I've ever had at the height
oh my God.
of when Flacco, everyone was saying he was elite and better than Brady, threw the pick in the end zone, and height of the Patriots dynasty. Flacco! So I'm always good. That gets them run. I'll take the Dolphins here. The Jets stink. Both these teams stink. I will say, shout out to whoever tweeted. I saw a very funny tweet. And it could have been someone from us outside, but they were like, I'll bet my life that the Ravens-Dolphins game was a London game. That felt
Yes.
like the
Yes.
biggest London
Yes.
game of all
It
time.
did.
Yes.
It was disgusting. So I was going to ask Dan, obviously the shtick on PMT for a long time is Joe Flacco being elite. Do you think that conversation is coming back?
I'm not a Joe Flacco guy. That's PFT's thing.
That wasn't a shtick. That was like a real debate.
Yeah,
Well,
no,
now it
people
is.
were
Like now,
debating it.
right?
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
at the time, but
No,
now it's like, the whole
Yeah,
thing. Like,
when he won the Super Bowl, people were actually
Yes.
having that debate all the time. I do
Yes.
not think Joe Flacco I don't think Joe Flacco's been good for a very long time. Very long time.
On the record.
joke.
But he does have great facial hair, and there's something about him he is kind of cool. Like he just
You guys look alike a little bit.
he doesn't change. The house could be on fire, and he just has the same facial
Yeah,
expression.
he's got a little.
How old is he?
He's old.
Late
Mine's a
30s.
little Bledsoe. A little bit of Drew Bledsoe.
He's just got a great. He is kind of old school, like the way back in the day quarterbacks with like zero mobility.
Yeah.
Where like they can't. It's like cement boots
Fouts.
in the pocket.
Like
yeah.
a Dan Fouts. He's
Yeah.
like a Dan Fouts.
Yeah, but still can throw it.
So Dolphins across the board, yes?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's time for the Rapid Fire Games of the Week. Rapid Fire is presented by Cross Country Mortgage. When it comes to your mortgage, don't take any risks and go with the favorites over at Cross Country Mortgage. Even if you're not looking to buy a home right now, they can still help you out with a bunch of stuff like renegotiating your current loan terms. Go to crosscountrymortgage.com/Barstool. That's Cross Country Mortgage, and they can take care of you through the home buying process. Cross Country Mortgage, LLC, NMLS 3029. All loans subject to underwriting approval. www.nmlsconsumeraccess.org. Deion, I will start with you. Let's go Colts at the Bills.
I'm going with the Bills and that all-purpose, all-pro, all-everything quarterback that they was just ringing his bells that I haven't heard them say a thing about in the last decade.
Who? Josh Allen?
Yeah, what happened to
Well,
him?
he hasn't been playing great the last couple of weeks. I mean, they killed last week, but the 2 weeks before that, he certainly hasn't looked good. I still like Josh Allen, but while you were, out, I've made it very clear that the Patriots have reemerged, so now he's my enemy. So, battle.
Okay.
I still like him, but battle lines have been drawn.
Yeah, in the last month,
I like that.
it's now been that you have to go through the Patriots.
Correct.
Yes. So, Dave, what do you think?
I think it's going to be a very close game and a telling game, actually, for Buffalo because they haven't really played anybody and they've still struggled. Colts can give them a game here. I'm going to take the Bills to win, but if the Colts come close or beat them, put a bow on the AFC East.
Dan?
Yeah, I agree with that. I think the Bills will win, but the Colts they actually played terribly against the Jaguars last week. The Jaguars outgained them. They had one special team touchdown the Colts did to basically seal that game. I think the Colts are in that frisky category, so this will be a tell the truth game. Like if the Bills lose this game, yikes. But I'm going to take them.
Let's go Ravens at Bears, Dan. I'm just going to
I'm
tee
going to
this one
take the
up
Bears.
for you.
I don't think they're going to win, but I'm going to take the Bears. I just want to see Justin Fields continue to progress. He played great Monday night in Pittsburgh 2 weeks ago. Let's see that keep on going. The one thing that will tell me that the Bears have a chance, the Ravens by far and away, like double everyone else, give up explosive plays. So if you can throw the ball down the field, which Justin Fields can do, I don't know about our receivers aren't great, you have a chance against the Ravens, so give me the Bears.
But aren't you at the point, too, where you kind of want the Bears to keep losing?
Yeah, no, Monday night against the Steelers was the perfect Bears outcome where they lost a close game that Justin Fields looked great and had a bunch of fight.
All right. Deion, I'll start with you, or I'll go to you. Ravens at Bears?
I'm going to go with the Ravens. I like the Ravens, and I'm a Lamar guy. I love what he's putting together. They need a little more productivity on defense, but they're missing half the guys due to injury. But they got to come out and pull this one out big time. I'm going with the Ravens.
Dave?
I think the Ravens stink. I don't think they're probably the most misleading 6-3 in the league. They've fallen behind, had some dramatic comebacks. I think the Lions missed a field goal. I think that could have beat them. They are not very good, and I don't think the Bears are very good, but that shows you how bad I think the Ravens actually are. I'm taking the Bears to win this game.
Let's go Lions at Browns, Dave.
Browns.
Browns?
Browns.
Another one of those
God,
where
this
it's just
is tough.
unanimous Browns?
Yeah, I mean, the Lions are showing fight. That game was ugly, but I think the Browns they're a more talented team, and they can.
And I assume Chubb will be back. He's super important to
Yep.
that team.
Yep.
When Chubb hasn't been in the lineup, they've looked like trash. He'll be back. I like the Browns.
Deion?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Browns just because Detroit is horrible. And then they're outside of that dome, and they're definitely not going to win on the road. I'm going with the Browns.
I assume this next one is unanimous.
Yes.
Texans at Titans?
Titans.
Yes, Titans, easy, cakewalk.
Yes, Titans.
All right. Saints at Eagles, Deion. I'll start with you.
This is a good game, man. God, this is a good game. That's shoot. Woo. I'm going to go with Philly at home.
Dave?
Saints on the road. I like the Saints as a road team. Hopefully they're wearing the Road Warriors, the Stormtroopers. I'm not so. The Eagles are. This just again. Sometimes I just look at the records. 5-4. 4-6. So I think there's a 2-game gap between these two teams. I think the Saints are a playoff team and the Eagles are not, and this will be a game that differentiates. So I'll take the Saints.
Dan?
I'm going to take the Eagles. I think the Eagles have figured something out offensively. Like, if you've watched their last 4 games, they've figured out that Jalen Hurts is not really a pass-first guy. Let him run the ball. They've been able to run the ball. Obviously, the Saints have a very good defense, but I think the Eagles win a tight one.
The football team versus the Panthers with Cam Newton. Dan, I will start with you over there. Now, the Washington football team got a huge win over the Bucs last week.
Yep,
but
they did.
Cam Newton coming in those situations, Carolina loved it.
It was very funny to see Cam. He had remember the Gordie Howe hat? Was the Gordie Howe hat trick? We get in a fight, goal, and assist.
Yeah.
Cam Newton got a rushing touchdown, a passing touchdown, and a celebration penalty.
Yeah.
So that was like the perfect Cam Newton day.
And the I'm back meme. That just
I'm
went
back
viral.
meme.
Yeah.
I think the Panthers are going to win this game. Cam Newton, the Panthers' biggest problem has been Sam Darnold. He's been so bad. As long as and the less about Cam Newton, more about Christian McCaffrey. That was the first time I've seen Christian McCaffrey look good in 2 years because he's been injured so much. He's such a difference maker. So give me the Panthers in this game.
Dave?
I think what we had last week was a 1-game pop from Cam. He comes back, he did his thing, and Cam was terrible with us, but I like Cam, and Belichick had nothing but great things to say about Cam being back, but I think Washington wins this game.
Deion, do you agree with that? Or you were shaking your head yes?
I'm going with Washington because Ron Rivera coached Cam.
Yeah.
He knows his weaknesses, every last one of them, and we're not talking about a fresh Cam who's been in the league. He's been at the crib for several weeks, and he's going to just magnify every inconsistency Cam has. So I'm going to go with the Washington football team.
49ers at Jags, Dave?
This is kind of a tough game.
Yeah.
Jags
I know,
are
you
getting a
paused. I
little
was like, did I-
spunky. The Niners are coming off a big win, but going on the road. I'm going to stick with the Niners, but it certainly would not shock me if the Jags won this game.
Dan?
Yeah. What is the line in this game?
I bet it's like 2 or something.
No, it's got to be more than that,
You
right? Give me the Jags. I don't know that. I just was looking at this. You think Niners, but having to go east after a big Monday night win, they looked as good as they possibly could. The Jaguars lost against the Colts,
6.5.
but again,
6.5.
6.5. If you watch that game, the Jags actually played very, very tough against the Colts. Were able to shut down their passing game. Give me the Jags. Why not? Fuck it.
Deion?
Give me the Niners. The Niners coming off a great win. I think they're going to follow up against Jacksonville.
All right, Bengals at Raiders. Both teams 5-4, Deion.
I'm going with the Raiders. Long trip across country. Bengals are okay. Raiders are okay. So therefore, I'm going with the home team that's okay.
Dave?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
This is a no idea game.
didn't
I
know.
have no idea which team is real, which team is fake. At one point, I was on the Bengals. They've looked like trash. The Raiders have all the stuff going on. ABC, I have no clue. I'm going to take the Bengals. I think the Raiders, again, you can't, repeating, but the shit they went through, I think they had a little pop, and then maybe it starts as wearing. It's an impossible situation still, I think. But I have no idea. I'm taking
The
Bengals.
foxhole guy is no longer.
Well, he got thrown into a foxhole.
Yeah.
No, you can't deal with that foxhole.
Yeah.
Dan?
I'll take the Bengals off a bye. Bengals off of a bye. Hopefully they figure something out.
Cardinals at Seahawks, Dan?
This one's Seahawks. I'm taking the Seahawks. They look terrible. Russ comes back. Obviously looked very rusty. But this feels like a line in the sand. This is your season. Because if you fall to 3-7, then it's going to be very, 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 very tough to make the playoffs. I think the Seahawks will give you their best effort on Sunday afternoon.
Deion?
Who's quarterbacking for the Cardinals right now?
Colt McCoy was the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then he got hurt, and then Chris Streveler came in.
Is what's his name? Is it
Kyler?
might be back.
Yeah, it might be. 'Cause last week they just said they were looking out for his long-term future, and then they lost.
Yeah.
So I would assume that might speed up him coming back. But we don't know. It's
Yeah,
Wednesday,
yeah.
so we don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Cardinals. I don't like Seattle whatsoever. I think 3-6 is indicative of who they are, and Russell still has a way to get it back together.
Also, can we just cool down with Russ Wilson? Miracle, like a miracle that he got back, a miracle 19 hours a day. Should he have come back? Because he looked terrible.
Yeah, he did.
Like you don't get miracle to come back from an injury and then you suck. Maybe you should have stayed injured for another week.
Yeah, you don't. It's not a miracle when you lose 17-0.
Right, exactly. First time he's ever been shut out in his career. That's not a miracle.
And I actually agree with Deion. I don't even think he's injured. I don't think Seahawks are very good. However, if Kyler does not play, I would go. I'm taking Arizona based on I think Kyler's coming back. If not, I would probably take Seattle.
I'm with Dave.
Okay, so just
pick,
wait and see
based
what
on
happens with Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Monday Night Football, we talked a little bit about it. The Giants at the Bucks. Deion, you said you think the Bucks are going to have a big bounce back week.
Yeah. Head coach called us the star quarterback out. Therefore, he's trying to talk to everyone else on the team. Everyone knows this old gag. But they respond, and they beat the brakes off the Giants.
Dave?
I think there's going to be a closer game than people think. Bucks win, but I think it's close.
Dan?
I'm going to take the Bucks, but I will absolutely be betting on the Giants. They're covering machines. I love Danny Dimes, but give me the Bucks straight up.
We're going to get to the primetime pick of the week in just a second, but first we're going to go to the Fantasy Factory Football Minute with Ben Mintz and Stephen Che.
What's up, fellas? I'm Ben Mintz.
And I'm Stephen Che.
We're the hosts of the Fantasy Football Factory podcast, and it's time to clock in for week 11. Mr. Shea, who are you starting today?
Starting Justin Fields at Soldier Field. He's averaging 57 yards rushing his last 4 games. He's got a safe floor with that. 291 yards passing this week. Start Justin Fields.
Starting Elijah Mitchell and Kyle Shanahan rushing offense against the abysmal Jacksonville Jaguar rush D. I don't care if I'm playing running back. I'd start myself. Everybody goes over 100 against Jacksonville.
Speaking of going over 100, it doesn't happen that much against Carolina. Only 2 rushers have done it this year. Antonio Gibson hasn't cracked 70 yards rushing since week 1. Sit Antonio Gibson.
I'm sitting Carson Wentz in the cold weather up in Buffalo. The Buffalo Bills have a stingy pass defense. Colts got to win this thing on the ground with Jonathan Taylor. Join us for Dear Mr. Fantasy at 11:30 Eastern on the Barstool Sportsbook YouTube channel. Hell, we'll get your starters ready for this week. And as always, check out player props all season long on the Barstool Sportsbook app. It's time to clock out.
Thanks, fellas. It's time for the primetime pick of the week presented by the Chevy Silverado. Dependable and gritty, like the people who drive them. Anything is possible with the Silverado. Guys, it's tough. It's just tough out here. I mean, everybody lost last week. Dave, you've lost 3 in a row.
Pretty amazing.
I don't know Dan, you won the suit, right? Is that?
Yeah, I guess I won that, but it was embarrassing that I lost last week. I shouldn't have lost last week. That was stupid.
It was a bad game. Deion, while you were out, Dan did officially win the suit bet. So you owed him a suit.
Yeah, not a Michael Strahan suit.
Well, what about Rochester's big and tall? What about that?
Shot. So, by the way, looking at our combined picks, we've lost 1, 2, 5, 7 out of the last 9.
It's gotten ugly, yeah.
It's not good. I mean, but the last couple weeks have been weird.
You run out of times to pick.
Yeah. Well, and the last couple weeks have just been very, very weird. We still have to make the picks, though. I don't know. Like, are we just going to say the?
I'm gonna finish. I'll just say it. I'm gonna finish with only 2 losses.
Okay. So
I got this.
What are you going?
I'm going to take Tennessee. Tennessee, get back on track.
That's a good
Tennessee
one.
versus Houston, back on track. Only going to finish with 2 losses.
Dave?
Cleveland.
Deion?
Lions.
Give me the Bucks.
All right.
Back on track.
Back on track. Everybody's getting back on track. So that's the end of the show. Deion, feel good to be back?
Feel great to be back, man. I miss you guys, actually. And I can't wait to start kicking your butts again like old times.
Glad to have you back, Deion.
Yeah, we're glad to have you back.
Love you.
Stay healthy. We'll be back next week. Have a good weekend.
All right, see you guys.
God bless.